The Last Bee Hive. In the shadows of a world teetering on the brink of ecological collapse, humanity faced a new terror born from its own quest for domination over nature. The story of The Last Bee Hive begins in a time when the Earth's last natural sanctuaries dwindled, giving rise to genetically modified organisms that were once thought to be the solution to impending famines and ecological disasters. Among these creations were the bees, engineered for resilience, productivity, and obedience. However, the manipulation of their genetic fabric eventually led to unforeseen consequences, birthing a tale of horror and suspense that would echo through the ages. In the heart of a dense forest, hidden from the eyes of the world, thrived the last hive. This was no ordinary hive, it was a fortress, a testament to what humanity had wrought. The bees that buzzed within its walls were unlike any other, larger, more intelligent, and fiercely aggressive. Engineered to withstand the harshness of a changing world, these bees had evolved beyond their creator's control. They became the guardians of the last bastion of their kind, attacking anything that dared to come close, be it man or beast. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a leading entomologist, had dedicated her life to the study and preservation of bee species. When news of the last hive reached her, she knew she had to see it for herself. Accompanied by a small team of scientists and protected by armed guards, Elena ventured into the forest. The air was thick with the scent of fear and anticipation as they neared the hive's location, guided by the faint, ominous hum that resonated through the trees. The hive, a behemoth of nature's engineering, stood as a colossal structure within the dense thicket of the forest, its very essence pulsating with an undeniable vibrancy and energy that seemed to resonate with the life force of the earth itself. Within its intricate, labyrinthine corridors, the inhabitants, a new breed of bees, moved with a sense of purpose and intelligence that bordered on the human-like. These creatures, genetically modified for resilience and intelligence, coordinated their defenses with an almost strategic precision, showcasing an advanced understanding of teamwork and tactics against any perceived threats. As Dr. Elena Vasquez and her team cautiously set up their high-tech equipment, they established a secure perimeter around their campsite, a buffer zone between themselves and the awe-inspiring natural fortress. They employed the latest in observation technology, setting up cameras and sensors to monitor and document the hive's activities from a distance deemed safe. Their goal was to study this marvel of genetic modification without disturbing its occupants, to learn from its existence in hopes of finding a path to coexistence. However, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of crimson and gold, the forest underwent a transformation. It was as though the very atmosphere shifted, charged with a malevolent energy that seemed to emanate from the depths of the shadows. The nocturnal chorus of insects and the rustling of leaves whispered of an impending doom. The bees, ever vigilant and attuned to the rhythms of their domain, sensed the intrusion into their territory not just as a mere presence, but as a dire threat to the sanctity and survival of their last bastion. With the coming of darkness, their response was swift and devastating. From the heart of the hive, they surged forth in waves, a mass of buzzing fury, their bodies glinting in the moonlight like tiny, avenging spirits. This was no ordinary foray, it was an all-out assault of unprecedented ferocity aimed at the intruders. These genetically enhanced guardians of the hive unleashed their might with a precision and aggression that was unparalleled. Their stings, evolved to be more potent than any of their forebears, became weapons of war as they dove into the fray. The air filled with the ominous hum of their wings, a sound that would haunt the memories of those who survived to tell the tale. Dr. Vasquez and her team, despite their preparations and technological prowess, found themselves woefully underprepared for the sheer magnitude of the bees' retaliatory strike. The night air was thick with the tension of battle, each member of the team fighting not just for their mission, but for their very survival. The divide between observer and participant blurred as the forest echoed with the sounds of nature's wrath unleashed. The attack was a nightmare brought to life. Swarms of bees descended upon the camp, piercing the night with their stings and filling the air with the sounds of chaos and despair. Elena and her team fought to survive, using every bit of their knowledge and resources to fend off the relentless attackers. The night seemed endless, a test of wills between human and insect, each determined to protect what they held dear. As dawn broke, the forest fell silent, the battle over but the war far from won. The hive remained untouched, its secrets and dangers more profound than Elena had imagined. The encounter had changed her, igniting a burning need to understand and perhaps find a way to coexist with these new guardians of nature. The narrative of the last hive and its guardians wove its way through the fabric of human society, spreading like wildfire and igniting a complex tapestry of fear and fascination among the global population. From the bustling metropolises to the quietest rural communities, the story resonated, echoing the primal fear of being overrun by a force beyond control. Cities, once bastions of human achievement and dominion over nature, now found themselves on the defensive. They braced for impact as reports of aggressive bee swarms began to emerge from various corners of the world, each incident escalating in intensity and destruction. These were not the bees of old, content with their roles as pollinators and honey producers. These were creatures transformed, emboldened by their genetic alterations and driven by a singular, unyielding instinct to defend the last remaining hive. As the attacks grew more frequent and devastating, the bees demonstrated a strategic targeting of areas critical to human infrastructure, creating a state of emergency in affected regions. Each swarm seemed to act with a collective intelligence, reclaiming territories that had once teemed with diverse life before being encroached upon by human expansion. This reclamation was not just a matter of territory, it was a statement, a clear message that the balance of power had shifted. The bees, through their fierce determination and resilience, were not just defending the last hive, they were asserting their right to exist, to thrive in a world that had been forever altered by human hands. Humanity found itself caught in a dilemma of its own making, facing an adversary it had unwittingly engineered. This foe, a product of human innovation and interference with nature, defied the traditional concepts of negotiation or defeat. There was no common language, no bargaining chip that could be used to appease or deter the swarms. Traditional methods of pest control proved futile against the bees' advanced defenses and adaptive strategies. The irony was not lost on the global community. In attempting to master nature, humanity had created a force that challenged the very foundations of its dominance. The situation forced a radical re-evaluation of human practices and policies regarding the environment and genetic modification. Scientists, policymakers, and environmentalists were thrust into the spotlight, tasked with devising a solution that could mitigate the threat while addressing the underlying issues that had led to this crisis. Meanwhile, communities affected by the bee attacks mobilized, implementing emergency measures and seeking refuge in safer areas. Amidst the chaos, a deeper understanding began to emerge, a recognition of the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. The aggressive bees, in their quest to protect the last hive, had inadvertently sparked a global conversation about sustainability, coexistence, and respect for the natural world. Humanity, at the mercy of a foe it had created, was now forced to confront the consequences of its actions, to find a path forward that would ensure the survival not just of the bees, but of the planet itself. In the aftermath of countless assaults and mounting devastation, humanity stood on the precipice of an unwinnable war. The relentless attacks by the genetically modified bees had brought the world to a sobering realization. These creatures, once engineered to be the saviors of agriculture, had become symbols of nature's revolt against human hubris. As scientists, leaders, and activists grappled with the crisis, a critical truth emerged from the chaos: these bees, aggressive though they might be, were the last remaining pollinators on Earth. Without them, the ecosystems would collapse, leading to a catastrophic failure of food chains and the eventual demise of human civilization itself. The turning point came when Dr. Elena Vasquez, once at the forefront of the battle against the hive, presented her findings to the global community. Through her research, she illustrated the dire consequences of continuing the conflict. Without the bees, humanity would face not just a decline in food diversity, but a complete collapse of the world's agricultural systems. The bees, for all their aggression, were indispensable. Their role in pollination was irreplaceable, a function so fundamentally crucial to the survival of countless plant species, and by extension, all life on Earth. Faced with this stark reality, the narrative began to shift. The world's governments, communities, and individuals realized that victory in this battle could mean the end of the human race. The cost of defeating the bees was far too great, a Pyrrhic victory that would leave humanity's future bleak and barren. The focus turned towards coexistence, a delicate balance between protecting human lives and preserving the essential role of the bees. Innovative strategies emerged, spearheaded by a newfound respect for the natural world and its complex interdependencies. Cities and towns adopted widespread measures for personal protection against bee attacks, investing in technology that could deter the bees without harming them. Protective clothing, non-lethal repellents, and shelter protocols became commonplace, allowing humans to shield themselves effectively during swarm incidents. Simultaneously, global efforts were made to defend and support the aggressive bees. Habitat restoration projects were launched, aiming to expand the natural environments suitable for the bees, reducing their need to encroach on human territories. Agricultural practices were revolutionized, moving away from monocultures and pesticides that harmed the bees, towards organic farming and biodiversity that supported them. Education campaigns spread awareness of the importance of bees, fostering a culture of respect and protection for these vital creatures. In a world once on the brink of ecological and societal collapse, a new era dawned. Humanity had chosen a path of humility and wisdom, recognizing that dominance over nature was an illusion. The aggressive bees, once seen as a threat, became symbols of resilience and a reminder of humanity's interconnectedness with the natural world. The last hive, protected and revered, stood as a monument to this new understanding, a testament to the power of coexistence and the enduring strength of life on Earth. Thus, from the brink of disaster, humanity emerged not victorious in battle, but triumphant in wisdom. In learning to protect the aggressive bees, they had ensured their own survival, embracing a future where human ingenuity and nature's balance walked hand in hand. The legacy of the last hive and its guardians became a beacon of hope, a story of conflict transformed into a tale of unity and mutual respect between humanity and the natural world. In the wake of this unprecedented challenge, humanity underwent a profound transformation. The once looming threat of the aggressive bees, engineered by human hands, catalyzed a global shift in perspective and priorities. Societies across the world adapted to the reality of coexistence, intertwining their lives with the natural rhythms of these vital creatures, understanding that their survival was intrinsically linked to the fate of the bees. This new era was marked by a harmony between technological advancement and ecological stewardship, with communities designing their spaces and lives around the protection and support of the bees. Agriculture, urban planning, and daily routines evolved, reflecting a deep respect for the interconnectedness of all life. Humanity, once on the brink of causing its own demise, found resilience in symbiosis, ensuring not just its survival, but the flourishing of a world where the buzz of bees remained a testament to the beauty of life's interconnected dance. Dare to venture into the unknown. Join us on a journey where shadows whisper and secrets lurk. Subscribe now and ring the bell to summon fresh mysteries directly to your screen every few days. Ignore this call, and be warned, an eternal curse awaits those who wander in the dark, unguided. Do you have the courage to face the unknown? Your adventure begins with a click. Welcome to the realm where every notification brings you closer to the abyss. Subscribe, if you dare.